Section 1: The Madueke Effect and the Attacking Myth. The final countdown to the Champions League Final in Budapest is officially on, and if you listen to the mainstream media, Paris Saint-Germain's attack looks completely unstoppable. They are heading into Saturday night having just smashed 5 goals past Bayern Munich in a chaotic semi-final tie. On paper, their front line is a total cheat code, but while casual fans are losing their minds over PSG's forward line, they are completely sleeping on a massive tactical shift happening over at Arsenal. Everyone in the comment section keeps crying about Bukayo Saka looking completely exhausted after carrying the right flank all season, or Victor Gyökeres misfiring up front. But let's talk about the absolute reality. Noni Madueke has been completely cooking for Arsenal lately. He has stepped up exactly when the system needed it most, providing a red-hot injection of direct pace, fearless dribbling, and clinical finishes. While Luis Enrique thinks he only has the game plan for Arsenal set pieces, Madueke is the literal X-factor that is going to keep PSG's fullbacks trapped deep in their own half all night long. Section 2: The shocking stats the bookies ignored. Now, let's look at the actual numbers, because the bookmakers have set some incredibly tight official betting odds for this final. PSG are coming in as the slight favorites to lift the trophy simply because they are the reigning, defending champions after winning their historic first ever Champions League title last season. The betting markets are heavily backing a high-scoring game, giving Arsenal surprisingly low odds to keep a clean sheet. But honestly, these odds are a total trap. Let's look at the real data. In the Champions League alone this campaign, PSG has scored a massive 44 goals, averaging a ruthless 2.75 goals per match. They scored for fun, but look at their defensive record. They have leaked a staggering 22 goals in Europe, averaging 1.38 goals conceded per game. They only managed to keep a clean sheet in a miserable 32% of their Champions League fixtures. They are the ultimate glass cannon. They play beautiful, flashy football, but their backline completely crumbles under raw physical pressure. Section 2B: The odds in the champions lineup. To understand why the bookies are miscalculating this matchup, you have to look at the total goals market. The odds are heavily juiced toward a high-scoring blowout because everyone expects Luis Enrique's intense 4-3-3 system to force the game into a chaotic transition state. Now look at the contrast with Arsenal. They literally just won the Premier League title by scoring fewer goals than a typical historic champion, netting 71 times. Arsenal didn't need to put 4 or 5 goals past teams every single week. Instead, Mikel Arteta built an absolute defensive wall, keeping 19 clean sheets and conceding just 27 goals domestically to suffocate the entire league. In fact, forcing own goals and letting the opponent score for them. They proved that a team doesn't need a fluid, high-scoring front line to dominate the biggest competitions on earth. So how exactly does Mikel Arteta plan to exploit this weak PSG defense and secure a historic double on Saturday night? He has a highly specific tactical instruction prepared that completely bypasses Arsenal's misfiring strikers. I'm going to reveal Arteta's exact game plan now. Section 3: The Set Piece FC Dogfight. Now, let's get into the grittiest part of this tactical setup. How does an Arsenal team with a misfiring front line actually break down the European champions? Simple. They stop trying to play pretty football and turn the pitch in Budapest into an absolute dogfight. Arteta knows for a fact that PSG's defense cannot handle physical duels in the box. They leaked 5 goals to Bayern in the semis because they completely panicked the second a cross enters the 6-yard box. So Arsenal's master plan is to lean entirely into being set-piece FC. They are going to abuse exactly what won them the Premier League title: chaotic back post corners, heavy deflections, and forcing defenders into panicked own goals. Arteta doesn't care if Gyökeres has a frustrating night or channels his inner Werner from 2021 at Chelsea to miss a wide open sitter, because he knows that on the very next play, Arsenal is going to win a corner. Saka is going to whip it in, Gabriel or Calafiori is going to absolutely clatter the PSG center backs, and the ball is going to clumsily bounce off a defender's knee into the back of the net. It's messy, it's ugly, and it drives rival fans completely insane, but it brings trophies home. Section 3B: Luis Enrique's counterattack trap. But don't think Luis Enrique is entering this match blind. PSG's tactical counter strategy is going to rely entirely on immediate vertical progression. They know they cannot match Arsenal's height or raw physical power during sustained set pieces. Because of that, PSG's instruction will be to trigger an explosive, immediate Arsenal commits their center-backs forward for a corner. They will intentionally leave their fastest wingers hanging right on the halfway line, waiting for the defensive clearance. If Arsenal's cross isn't absolutely perfect, PSG will look to transition from defense to attack in under 4 seconds, bypassing Mikel Arteta's rest defense entirely. PSG wants an open track meet. Arsenal wants a grueling, slow-tempo wrestling match. Section 4, the legendary verdict and stream funnel. And this brings us to the ultimate question of the night. As the legendary Sir Alex Ferguson famously said, and as classic European football has proven for decades, attack wins you matches, but defense wins you titles. This final is the ultimate test of that phrase. Can Arsenal's rock-solid, title-winning defense completely neutralize PSG's devastating attack, or will PSG's reigning European firepower prove to be too much to handle? Remember, Arsenal has never won a Champions League trophy in their entire history, hence they will be motivated to try to win it for the first time, while PSG is trying to establish a modern European dynasty by winning back-to-back titles. The stakes could not be higher. I want to know your thoughts. Look at the history, look at the numbers. Drop your brutal, honest score predictions in the comments below. Is Madueke and the Arsenal defense carrying them to historic, or are they getting torn apart by the reigning champions? Section 5, the betting odds and tactical data extension. Now, to truly understand the sheer scale of what is about to happen in Budapest, we have to look closely at the underlying data and the official betting markets. Right now, the bookmakers have set some incredibly tight lines. PSG are entering Saturday's final as the moneyline favorites at roughly 2.15 odds, while Arsenal is sitting as the clear underdogs at around 3.2, with the draw priced at 3.40. The betting markets are heavily juicing the odds for over 2.5 goals at both teams to score, betting on the assumption that Luis Enrique's intense, high-pressing 4-3-3 system will completely open the match. But the underlying numbers suggest the bookies are making a massive miscalculation here. PSG's attack has been elite, racking up a massive 44 goals in Europe this season, but their defensive metrics are deeply alarming for a finalist. They have leaked 22 goals in the Champions League alone, averaging 1.38 goals conceded per match, and keeping a clean sheet in only 32% of their European fixtures. They are the ultimate glass cannon, and that plays directly into the hands of Mikel Arteta's tactical blueprint. Arsenal completely choked out the Premier League this season, keeping 19 clean sheets by registering an expected goals against, or XGA, of just 0.85 per 90 minutes. They trap teams in wide areas, choke out the passing lanes into the box, and force teams into low-quality shots from distance. It is an absolute statistical wall going up against a backline that panics under physical pressure. Section 6, the historical final and call to action. And this brings us to the ultimate historical narrative of this final. Paris Saint-Germain are the reigning defending European champions, looking to establish a modern dynasty by securing back-to-back titles after winning their historic first-ever Champions League trophy last season. Arsenal, on the other hand, have never won a Champions League title in their entire history, and are returning to the final for the first time in 20 long years. As the legendary Sir Alex Ferguson famously said, and as classic defensive masterclasses have proven for decades, a good attack wins you matches, but a great defense wins you titles. Saturday night is the ultimate test of that phrase. Can Arsenal's rock-solid, title-winning defense neutralize PSG's devastating attack, or will PSG's reigning European firepower prove to be too much to handle for the Gunners? I hope you enjoyed this video. Also, the Division 2 eFootball gameplay in the background. Let me know in the comments what you liked about the video and what would you like to see in a video next.